I saw this video show up on my feed and I started watching it earlier and I'm like, man, this is actually such a good video and it is very applicable to a lot of things that I talk about on this channel. So I actually want to react to it. This is a video called Stop Noticing the War on Men by AndyPants. Let's see what he has to say about the war on men.
Guys, I'm going to need y'all to stop noticing some things. Stop noticing that Nathan Drake and Sully were replaced by girl bosses. Stop noticing that a small black woman single-handedly beat the shit out of Nathan and Sam. Stop noticing that the developer of the Ultra-based Killzone games now makes games about a fat, dog-ugly lesbian who definitely drives a Jeep Wrangler. Stop noticing that one of the best characters of all time, Jin Sakai, was replaced.
That was a great line about the Jeep Wrangler right there.
With a butch lesbian who raises a child with another woman, an action that God hates. Stop noticing that angry masculinity personified, Kratos, was replaced with the cuck of war who isn't even the main character in his own story anymore. Stop noticing that a muscly arm...
I don't mind AndyPants at all, by the way. I'm subscribed to him. I watch his videos. Hell, like I said, this came up on my feed and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I just know he gets a lot of backlash online, we'll say.
Lesbian in Last of Us 2 literally killed Joel as the bagel director of the game held him down for a beating. Stop noticing that the director is Jewish. Ellie's girlfriend is Jewish, and the entire game was stated by the director to be a metaphor for Israel. Stop noticing that Peter is cucked by a woman and
wait, is that true? Did the director say it's a metaphor for Israel? How is that not talked about more? What?
Black man in Spider-Man 2, and MJ somehow went from being a journalist to a superhero because stunning and brave. Shall we do Xbox next?
Yikes.
Stop noticing that based masculine characters like Marcus, Dom, and Cole were replaced by Kate Diaz. Stop noticing that Halo Studios made Cortana ugly and Chief a simp.
Look at what did they do to my girl? Holy.
Stop noticing that they made the hero in Fable a woman. But guys, don't worry, there's totally not an attack on men right now.
Yeah, this is what Colin Moriarty was trying to get across to me. Is like, what's your issue with the girl boss? What's your problem with her? I'm like, I'm noticing a pattern and it's kind of hard to avoid it, bro.
Now, stop noticing that based masculine Assassin's Creed protagonists were replaced with a black queer man and an ugly woman. Stop noticing that Silent Hill F is just feminist propaganda designed to make women hate the concept of marriage. Very subtle, by the way. There's a boss at the end that's a wedding dress. Stop noticing that after 3 Witcher games starring Geralt, the new game we play exclusively as Ciri, who they just happen to make ugly and fat now.
Which, by the way, this is a big one right here. Nobody asked for this. Why does it keep happening? Like across the board, every series. Why?
Could it be because of all the diversity consultants and cucked beta males that...
Yep. And the people pushing for it in the industry and pro-journalism saying we need more of this. Yep. And the studio's bending the knee to them and hoping the Game Awards notice that the boxes are checked so that they qualify. Yep.
CDPR recently hired? Nah, couldn't be related. Stop noticing that you couldn't play as a woman or a minority in Call of Duty World at War 2008, and now you are forced to play as a woman and a minority in Black Ops 7. Stop noticing that you couldn't play as a woman or a minority in Battlefield 4, and now you are forced to play as a woman and a minority in Battlefield 6. Stop noticing that in World War Z, all of the default characters you can pick from are gay and black. Stop noticing that every single film franchise has been cucked by a strong girl boss woman. Stop noticing that movies that always starred men in the lead roles are all women now.
What? Wait a second. That's a great point. Holy shit. I mean, I knew about the Ghostbusters one. Furiosa, I know, was one where that kind of came up, but I didn't really think about how Prey did it too with Predator. Good movie, by the way. But damn, when you start to notice the patterns, it does seem beyond suspicious.
Predator, Ghostbusters, Mad Max, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. All women. Stop noticing that in Marvel Zombies last month, they replaced all the male superheroes with girl bosses.
Yikes.
Man, that's a lot of stuff I need you guys to stop noticing.
Look, there's a timeline of all the years that they all went woke.
So boys, on to the real question, why? Why is all of modern media, video games, and film against us? Keep watching, and I think the answer will surprise you. All right, boys, if you're like me, you probably stay up too late gaming all the time, so when you finally go to bed, you want to fall right to sleep. A few months ago, I got the Manta Sleep Sound Mask. The deep and restful sleep I've been getting with these bad boys is insane. The ventilated C-shaped eye cups let you move them wherever you want, so you get a true 100% blackout even when sleeping in a bright, sunny room.
Damn.
Or even if you're taking
That's actually not a bad product. I might look into that.
a nap in your car like I used to do at work.
When I sleep, I always sleep with a t-shirt over my eyes. So that's kind of my thing.
The 20-hour battery life Bluetooth speaker lets me listen to relaxing music all night while my headphones charge. The Manta Sleep Sound Mask can easily adjust to accommodate any person's head size. The material just feels like really high-end and nice on your face. The perforated weave on the mask stays ventilated and lets airflow in all night long, so I never get hot. Click the link in the description right now for a free 10% off on a Manta Sleep Mask. At checkout, enter code word AndyPants. And also, guys, huge shout out to sponsor Manta Sleep for sponsoring my edgy content. I couldn't do this without them.
How come no one sponsors me? Sellout JT. You guys know how many emails I get every day with people begging to sponsor me?
Okay, back to the video.
Wait a second. Hold on. If it was all about the money, wouldn't I be doing that? Wouldn't I be? Hold on. Doesn't that shoot some holes in the theories of the haters on me of I only do this for money? That's very, very curious.
Every single freaking movie and video game being girl bossed right now. Why has the systematic attempt to erase men gotten so bad? To put it simply, it's because men are the guardians of everything that is good, beautiful, and true in society, and there are evil women out there who hate men.
He put Hassan with the women in the communist side.
And want to be in charge. It's as simple as that. Think about it. America was created by 56 men. Every skyscraper, bridge, and cathedral was built by men. The electricity and plumbing and foundation of your house right now was built by men. Who do governments send to fight wars and save women from burning buildings?
That's a good point. They don't believe that I have sponsors, Sensation Swordmaster. That's how it always works. Like the moving the goalpost. Nobody would sponsor him. And it's like if I started taking up these people on their offers, sell out. We knew it. He just doesn't. It's like you can't fucking win no matter what you do. They always have an anti against you.
Men. Men are the creators and sustainers of civilization itself, and we've done it for tens of thousands of years. But as Bill Burr said one time, feminism views male patriarchy as a box
He got cucked as fuck, by the way.
of chocolates. Equal pay and being in charge of video games? Yeah, we'll take some of that. Digging ditches and roofing in the summer? Nah, y'all can keep that. Feminism at its heart is a jealousy of God-given male authority, and it is a desire to take away male authority and put women in charge.
Yep.
You can see this all going back to the story of Adam and Eve in the garden. Satan knew that if he came after Adam directly, his neck would get snapped. But if he was able to trick Eve, then he could get control of Adam through Eve. Satan is the father of feminism, and Satan was the first feminist. This is why none of us should watch Korn or support OnlyFans or Cornhub.
Whoa, bro. What? That you just made such a fucking leap. You lost me. You were doing so good, Andy. You were doing so good. What was this leap you just made? What? This is why those two things have nothing to do with each other.
Korn is literally Satan getting control of you through a woman. But jumping into video games,
I can't with these people shoving their religion into your face. Oh God.
talk about how these
He was doing so good too. This was such a banger video. If he just left that out, this would have been that's crazy. That's crazy.
degenerate Boldyks were able to do this in so many game studios. Now, first and foremost, I want to make it clear that beta cuck men opened the door for this. Phil Spencer.
Wait, are we trying to say beta cuck men open the door for porn too? Because I would argue no. Those would be the alpha men that would open the door for that, but that doesn't fit the agenda, so whatever. Anyways, I'll get back on topic with this.
Herman Hulst, Yves Guillemot, Neil Cuckman, Corey Barlog, all pussified men who hired women to be...
They absolutely are 100% pussified men. 100%. He's right on that for all these people.
leadership positions at game studios. But specifically, let's look at some of the key ones involved. Kim Belair. Kim was hired and promoted at Ubisoft to push her anti-male, anti-white, satanic propaganda in all of the games she touched. Her team at Sweet Baby Inc. is featured in videos like this.
Like legit anti-white agenda. That is literally. Oh, they mask it with, we're storytelling with our storytellers and yeah.
Over 2,000 video games are produced every year in Canada. The industry makes over $3 billion every year by creating new games, but marginalized people seem to always get the shorter end of the stick.
Can somebody tell me what reality this woman is living in? Last I checked, every single effing game had a gay, disabled black girl boss in it. So this whole marginalized people are getting cut out, like, it's just bullcrap.
No, it's just a sales pitch. It's worked. It's worked. And I'll tell you straight up, just from researching, why do companies keep hiring companies like Sweet Baby Inc? And it always comes down to, if the company itself is not diverse enough on their checklist and they need to fill out some more checkboxes and say we had more women working at our studio, or more black people, or more gay people, or whatever, they sign on a company like Sweet Baby Inc. and count those people as employees that worked on the game, put them in the end credits, ship that off to the World Economic Forum, and get low interest loans or qualifications or bonuses or whatever the fuck happens. It's the only explanation why they would do it every single time.
The importance of seeing this character's tits is more important than protecting their lungs.
Video game corporations have been
See, now I'm confused about Andy, because wouldn't Andy agree with that based off the porn thing? This is how you get into your own contradictions with this stuff.
repeating their recipe for success, but diversity has now become the missing ingredient.
Enemies or
oh my god,
adversities. Like movies, you can have some form of, misrepresentation of mental illness.
Guys, are you starting to see how gay race communism ruins everything? They poke their Jewish head into your hobby and say, you need some diversity in here. I mean, the government of Canada engages in institutional theft by giving these companies tax breaks for having a diverse workforce.
Oh, actually, there you go. Did I say the World Economic Forum? Sorry, I meant Canada.
Have you ever wondered why these women and Jews never want diversity on an oil rig, or diversity in the construction business, or diversity on deep sea welding? No, because...
Or bus drivers, or trash truck drivers, or sewage maintenance, like literally any horrible, gross job that requires manual labor. Girls checked out.
None of them have done an actual day of work in their life, because for them, this is all about getting power. Satan wants power.
Bro, enough with the religion stuff, bro. This is turning into a fucking sermon. Holy.
Power and influence, and you do that through media, and you do that through video games. But furthermore, we might ask the question, if video games are played by 90% men, as this Capcom study shows, why is it wrong to go after your demographic? I mean, Hallmark, Lifetime, Ulta, they aim their marketing efforts at women. But video games being made for men? Oh, we can't have that now, can we?
Right.
All right, so at the end of this video, I want to give you guys some practical things we can do to end women infiltrating video games. But right now, I want to talk about 3 games infested with feminism and how you can avoid these games at all costs.
All right.
Number 1, Ghost of Yotei. If you meet a guy who bought Ghost of Yotei, just know that you're not talking to a man anymore. You're talking to a biological male with a pocket vagina who cosplays as a woman.
He just straight up called out Colin Moriarty right there.
Never has there been a more brazen feminist move than replacing based hero Jin Sakai with an ugly lesbian girl boss.
Not only that, but Jin Sakai was like a established mascot for the PlayStation brand after one game. I still can't get past that they just played him out and brought a girl boss in after one game. That's insane.
While the combat in Ghost of Tsushima was always a bit slow for me compared to the FromSoft games, let's be honest, you really are there for the story and all the based feudal Japanese stuff. Well,
I actually didn't mind the combat in Tsushima. I thought it was great.
Historicity has been completely thrown out the window with Yotei, just like Ubisoft did by putting a Braccaman in AC Shadows. See, guys, because history doesn't matter. Authenticity doesn't matter. What matters is us projecting our own horrible Western politics on a 1600s game. So right off the bat, the entire premise of a female assassin who can take down a trained samurai is completely ridiculous, and I could never play this game with a straight face without laughing. Now you might say to me, but Andrew, you never had a problem with Bayonetta. Yeah, dude, Bayonetta is not trying to be historical. Ghost of Yotei claims to be historical, so completely different. So now that they've committed to their fictional girl boss who never existed, the least they could do is pick a voice actor or mocap actress who could believably take down a man. Plenty of rough-looking Chinese and Japanese female MMA fighters who could believably maybe take out one guy, but this is who they chose as their voice actress and mocap artist.
And oh, by the way, a self-proclaimed member of Antifa.
What should we call this body type? Never missed a meal, sitting in a chair all day? They prick her finger and Hot Pocket filling is going to come out. But it gets worse. They gave 5 different fighting styles to her, and none of them could believably be practiced against a group of men by a woman today. I have a buddy who's been in martial arts his entire life, and he explained to me that it's literally impossible for a woman to wield katanas the way that Atsu does in Yotei. Women simply lack the upper body strength. It's not possible.
So, like, think about that kind of stuff. And people are like, well, it's a video game. You're being way too serious and literal with this stuff. It's like, okay, well, why are you putting a girl in it? What is the purpose? If it's not believable or realistic and nobody wants it, why are you doing it? And it's not just Yotei, but all these other games over and over and over again.
But again, physics and reality don't matter when you got to get your stunning and brave on. Also, as the cherry on top, it also happens that the voice actress of Atsu is, of course, a satanic Antifa leftist who just said that she is part of Antifa on Twitter. Also, should you be even remotely attracted to this woman, they made sure to put the most dog-ugly outfits in the game imaginable. You know, because men are evil and must be punished for their God-given desires. So how have the Jewish-owned YouTube...
I'm confused what Andy's angle with the porn is. He's like, porn is bad, but make the girls super attractive in the game and make the outfits really revealing. I'm like, pick a fucking lane, bro. Like, I'm with you until the whole porn argument, because that kind of shoots holes in this whole thing.
And media conglomerates been responding to this game. 10 out of 10. Replacing a man with a woman, so unique. Ghost of Yotei, so beautiful. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. So this applies equally to all of the games I'm talking about today. But guys, if you see a YouTuber supporting Ghost of Yotei, we should treat them the way we treated traitors in World War II. The men of Reddit still pushing feminism in 2025 have pocket vaginas, and we shouldn't even acknowledge these guys as men anymore. I'm talking about Mighty Keef, Actman, Bellular, Shillup, Luke Stevens, Reforged Gaming, Rhino, Shinobi. All of these dudes are beta cucks.
There's actually a much longer list of them. Those are some of the most prominent ones. But my goodness, there's so many of these people. There's so many. And they actually have like a fairly decent audience. And I'm like, who are the people that are beta cucks for these? Why would you listen to them?
These dudes aren't men. They're women cosplaying as men, and we should deal with them accordingly. Number 2, The Witcher 4. So I've seen a few people simping for Ciri in Witcher 4, and I'm sorry, I just don't think you guys have been paying attention. Ciri is actually much more powerful than a Witcher. She's a mage with elder blood, so she's way more powerful than a Witcher. So why would Ciri ever want to be downgraded to being a Witcher? Well, because stunning and brave, of course, and because women got to do everything a man can do. It's like if you were the garbage man at a company and your wife was the CEO cucking you, and one day she showed up and was the garbage man just to embarrass you. This is essentially what they're doing with girl boss Ciri. The other ridiculous thing is that the trial of grasses, which every Witcher has to undergo, would have definitely killed her, as it kills basically every woman who's tried it. This is why basically only men can be Witchers. But is this not the most 2025 ass game ever, that we have to make Ciri a Witcher who does the trial of grasses just to show men that she can do everything a man can do, even if that thing is chemical torture? The cherry on top is, of course, that they had to make her ugly. Gone is the completely freaking beautiful young Ciri from Witcher 3. She looks like she smoked Camel Reds for every day for 20 years. Yikes. But boys, uglification of women is directly from the leftist playbook. Every woman must be an ugly lesbian girl boss.
AndyPants used to have a channel called AndyPants Xbox where he supported the left. I mean, to be fair, in his defense, like I used to, I guess you could say, lean left. I didn't really put out content like that though, but people change over time and their perspectives change. So I wouldn't necessarily hold it against them, but it is interesting when you hear that.
All must be more powerful than men. Another thing I don't think people have considered is how so much of Witcher 3 was fun specifically because you're playing as a man. You're a badass, you're having romances with women, etc. Think about it. All of that is gone in Witcher 4 because you're playing as a woman now. No more flirting with Yennefer. No more flirting with Triss. No more flirting with Kira Metz. Because you're a woman now, guys. You're
Well, maybe she can flirt with dudes, which is going to be really fucking weird if you're a dude playing the game.
not Geralt. I feel like people have just sort of accepted the idea, oh yeah, it makes sense to play as Ciri now. And nobody has really thought about how actually unfun it is to play 200 hours being forced to play as a woman. Another thing that lets me know how horribly woke Witcher 4 is going to be is all of the
These people are so awful for gaming. All of them. And they hate us for calling them out because deep down they know that this is a grift for them. They do not belong in this industry. They are here, they are tourists, and they need to leave it. Their games are failing. This whole direction they've been pushing it is struggling. We are winning. And they're getting more and more angry.
political activists who are working on it now. As you can see in the photo here, all of the based white dudes who made Witcher 3 have been fired, and they all left to go form a separate studio.
Yep.
So who's left to work on Witcher 4? Well, women and gay men, of course. In 2023, things took a really dark turn for CDPR when they launched their new Diversity and Inclusion initiative. Witcher 4 recently hired as its senior writer this chick, Mary Kinney, who worked on such woke disasters as Spider-Man 2 at Insomniac.
She's the one that said we need to pull every lever to insert the LGBTQ agenda into gaming.
Mary recently said this: there are so many LGBTQ developers, and we want what players want, to design experiences that tell the player, we're here, we're important, and we belong. Implying, I suppose, that she is a degenerate, God-hating lesbian as well. With regard to LGBTQ inclusion, she said this: we need to pull every lever we have, characters, community support, mechanics, to make it so.
Who the fuck would hire this person? How? This has to stop. Has to stop happening. These people cannot continue to be hired. This is crazy. Crazy to say that.
This woman is basically a propaganda activist who hates men and wants to push her anti-white, anti-male agenda. But nah, bro, Witcher 4 is totally going to be based. Totally. Don't even worry about it. Next, CDPR hired this guy, Kian Marr, to be a lore designer for...
Oh, this is that guy that wanted to punch someone? This guy's fucking psycho. Of course, the gamer. And he got hired to be a writer?
Witcher 4.
Designer.
He's previously written for The Gamer and IGN, which are both incredibly woke.
I think he said he wanted to punch gamers or something.
The dude is a satanic homosexual, and he said this: people would rather be bigoted and blame the fact they're straight white men on their inability to get a job than, the fact they're not quite as good a writer as they'd like to think, which ironically is a byproduct of unfounded straight white man confidence.
Holy what? Well, back it up. Why would a white person hate white people? What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Founded straight white man confidence. Somebody said this on Twitter: in 2020, I want muscle so I can effectively punch gamers and also so I can carry cute people and dogs of any size easily. Kian replied, I didn't realize until this tweet, but this is now also what I want.
Yeah, so he wants to punch gamers. Yeah, this guy that's making a game wants to punch the people buying said game. The fuck?
Assuming he wants to punch gamers. Like, bro, why are you working at a game studio if you're publicly saying that you hate gamers? I don't get it. So yeah, guys, Witcher 4 is going to be a woke disaster, and I would say there's absolutely no hope for this game, and it's cooked already.
I wholeheartedly agree, by the way.
Number 3, Control by Remedy Studios. Do you remember in the 2000s when Remedy made based games?
By the way, Remedy is just their CEO just resigned, and their company is about to do, I would guess, massive layoffs because they are financially not doing well right now.
Games like Max Payne.
I wonder why Remedy is taking a turn for the worse. I wonder what it could be.
Yeah, those days are long gone. So in 2019, when Control first came out, I think everything hadn't been girl bossed yet, and so we were much more open to stuff like this. But now that every game has an ugly feminist girl boss, it's really hard for me to go back and play this game without throwing up in my mouth a little bit. Seriously, try to play Control now, and you'll notice that it's an ugly feminist girl boss who's just completely unlikable. My whole thing about video games is that femininity should be a feature rather than a bug. Lara Croft is a badass, and she uses her femininity and sexiness to her advantage rather than just trying to do everything a man can do. Another thing is that women have unique powers that men don't have. Namely, they can tempt men and get them to do what they want. That is an undeniable power of women, and it is one that's often used in evil ways. But instead, what we're trying to do in video games today is just so desperately hard to prove that women can do everything men can do, and it's very boring. And you even see this dysfunction in modern society today. Women are foregoing being moms at home so they can work in a corporate soulless job, just like
it's not natural. The kids grow up without a mother figure around constantly. You got to wonder about the next generation of kids. And I've talked about this multiple times before. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but there is something to be said for the macroeconomic situation of society that we find ourselves in, forcing a lot of families to have both people in the couple work in order to survive. So this situation goes well beyond just video games, but that it's penetrating into the game industry is very, very scary.
Like men. What women have completely forgotten is that being a female is a feature, not a bug. You're more than just a copy of a man. You're a woman. And a female can create 20 more people. This is the most powerful thing that a woman can do, and it's incredible. Our society has women actually lowered in their importance in society because they're just trying to copy men, and it's sad. This is kind of random, but my wife and I were watching The Mask last night with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, and I was chuckling when Jim Carrey turns into a cartoon wolf because he's so attracted to Cameron Diaz. This used to be like a major plot point in movies and games. Women's power was always the power of seduction. Yep. Men were the ones doing the fighting and killing.
Feminists killed this. Yep.
And honestly, ask any woman, and if they're honest, they would rather be attractive to men rather than be out there fighting and killing. Our society has sold women a lie that they will find fulfillment in copying men, and it's just not true. I hate to say it, but your grandpa was right. Giving women the right to vote.
Commies are what did Grandpa say about commies? Something I probably can't say on YouTube. But Grandpa was right about commies.
It was the first step in the satanic feminism taking over society we see today. So boys, in closing here, what can we do today in our own personal sphere of influence to fight the encroachment of feminism into video games? Number 1, women should be at home having children. They should not be working. So if you are a hiring man...
Again, I mean, this is a massive topic that you just opened up with that. But I've said this before too. I have 2 kids. I wanted to have at least 3. We could not afford it. And that's with both of us working. So yes, on the surface, I wholeheartedly agree. Women need to be at home making fucking sandwiches and having more kids. Yes, wholeheartedly. Society is taking that away from women because the economic situation is very challenging on a lot of families out there.
Manager or you work at a company, I think you have a moral obligation to stop hiring women. Number 2, expose beta cuck men who support feminism.
Yes.
These are not men. They have pocket vaginas. All of these homos support LGBTQ garbage and feminism. Yep. Do you remember what we did with traitors during World War II? Yeah, these are not men. These are women cosplaying as men. Number 3, finally and most importantly, do not buy anything that pushes anti-male hatred. The only way these companies will listen is if we hit them in the wallet. These are a couple games that have come out recently that we know are deeply hateful of men. Ghost of Yotei, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Silent Hill F, Witcher 4, Hades 2, Arc Raiders, Marathon, and Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. In closing, guys, do not support these games. Do not talk about these games. Do not give these games any attention because they are hateful anti-male propaganda.
That was an excellent video. Excellent. I didn't obviously agree with every single thing, and some things that he was saying, I'm like, that's a bridge too far for even me. But for the most part, based as fuck and very well researched, and a lot of really good points put in there. It's really important for videos like these to get out there to make people wake up to reality. When he's saying, stop noticing all these situations that have been going on for years now, people are starting to ask questions. You guys that were witness to my conversation with Colin Moriarty the other day, like, this is someone that supports that agenda. And he is actively fighting against someone who's daring to stand up against it because they feel very threatened. They have come into this industry, pushed this ideology, pushed this agenda, put their markers down, and are not leaving. So in a weird way, there is kind of a psychological war being waged right now. And while they may or may not admit it, it's happening. And it's very important for people to realize and understand what's being done. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. Anyways, I'll leave that one there. But shout out to AndyPants. That's good shit.